Okay, YouTubers, this is David, and I'm here today to talk about my Fury. What I'm doing today is I'm actually working on the interior. So if you've been following along, you know that I've had the car painted and had lots of other work done to it. Check out the other videos. But today I'm going to talk about the inside. This is actually the last step I have to restoring the car. I'll just give you a look here. So I've been gutting the inside. The car is complete. It's not really missing any parts, but some of the parts are, some of the panels are rusty, some of the metal panels, some of the metal trim in the car has surface rust on it, so I'm going to clean that rust off and I'm going to repaint those parts. Some of the plastic parts, a couple of them were disintegrated. The A-pillars were completely disintegrated, but I have replacements which will have to be painted. And some of the other panels, like the rear quarters panels here on the inside, will need to be reconditioned. So I'll be covering some of that too. So I've taken out everything back here. Actually, I did find the build sheet. I found one build sheet quite a long time ago when I took the bottom of the rear seat out, and it was in bad shape, but it was from a different car. But this time I took the back side of the rear seat out and I found the build sheet, and it was in great shape. So that was a nice little surprise. I've also taken the headliner out. The car is in pretty good condition. There's no real rust under here. What you're looking at is glue. A lot of glue and headliner material that's kind of stuck to the roof of the car over the years. So all these parts I'm going to clean and recondition and paint so they'll look nice and new again. Oh gosh. So I still need to work on the front. The next step is to take the dash out and the front seats out and the console out. The dash is in great shape. It just has one crack right here, and this is where these cars typically always crack, right in that spot. And although there's, the hard part about this is this little stitching seam right here. Of course it's fake stitching, but it's hard to reproduce that. I mean, you can take a typical dashboard repair and fill in the gap, fill it in with vinyl, smooth it out, make it look good, but it's hard to duplicate these couple of little ridges right here, so that's going to take some work. But I'll be working on this dash. I'll repaint the silver accents as well. I also have a different dash cluster, a gauge cluster with a tachometer, so I'm going to try to put that in. I've got a new circuit board to go behind this as well. Replace all the lights, clean the gauges up. And also this stereo here. This is not the original stereo, of course. These cars came with, this particular car came originally with AM/FM 8-track. But it did come with a nice stereo. It came with like 6 speakers, or 5 speakers. And the 8-track stereo, which I think was near top of the line for the stereo option, if I'm not mistaken. But this particular unit here is a Pioneer unit. This is probably circa mid-80s, late 80s. Because around that time I had a Plymouth Satellite, and I had a stereo exactly like this. So this had to be from sometime between 86 and 89, something like that. So it's pretty old itself, and it doesn't work too well. Obviously the tape deck doesn't work, and you can pick up a couple of stations on it, but the speakers are all shot. But I'm going to replace this with a new unit. Not a real expensive unit. I don't think it's worth, you know, you can get a nice unit to do the job without spending a ton of money. I'm not going to spend a lot of money on some super nice audiophile unit, but I want something more modern. It's going to sound good. It's going to slide right in here. I also took the speakers out. They were Pioneer speakers, so apparently they replaced all the speakers. There's a middle speaker in here too. That's probably the stock speaker. I might have to replace that one as well. Oh, these are the original speakers. Some old 6x9s and 3.5s. These are all Pioneer units. So I guess apparently I guess the original stereo really didn't last that long. But yeah, these were popular back in the day, back in the 80s. An old Pioneer unit. And easy to replace. 3.5s, 6x9s. Should be able to find a new set and plug right in. So my next step is to kind of do two things. Continue disassembling the front of the car here, and also start cleaning and painting the parts that I've already taken out. A couple of difficult things here is, well, first of all, they don't make seat covers for these like they do a lot of classic cars. So these seats will have to be recovered by an upholstery shop, because I don't know how to sew seat covers from scratch. So that's one thing I'll have to have done. So I'm getting ready to take those out and send those out. The other problem is this car has shag carpet. If you can take a good look here. That is original shag carpet. And it's black. And as far as I can tell, they do not make shag carpet anymore. It's impossible to replace, practically. I'm going to keep looking. I'm going to have this upholstery shop do a search for me. But as far as I can tell, there's no shag carpet. I ordered, there was one Auto Fabrics company that I sent in an order to one time, and I gave them the trim code and everything, and they said, they sent me cut pile. I said, this car didn't come with cut pile carpet. And they said, well, that's just all we have. It's like, well, if it's not an exact match, why would you send it to me? But anyhow, I sent that back. But so shag carpet, and I thought about repainting it because it's really just faded. There is a hole in the passenger side, but I think I can cut out a piece from under the seat and patch that. But the problem is, you know, carpet paint, I don't know, it doesn't work too well on shag. I used carpet paint for the door carpets here, and it may look pretty decent, but it certainly doesn't have quite, it's pretty close, but maybe not quite as soft as it would have been originally. It's very hard to paint shag carpet, even with really good carpet paint. It's not easy. It's going to have to be cleaned thoroughly and brushed out and painted with several coats, a little bit at a time, so that you don't soak it. So if I can't find replacement shag carpet, I'm going to try and repaint it, but that's not going to be easy, but you know, worth a try. Another interesting thing, the covers for the front speakers, these are hard to find. I'm lucky to have these. Solid metal, not really just pot metal either. I mean, that's pretty solid stuff. You won't see speaker covers today made out of metal like that, but I just thought that was interesting. I'll give you one little good look around here on the inside. Pretty good shape. So I'll keep you abreast of how things go, and I'll keep working and keep making some videos a little step at a time to keep it interesting. Thanks a lot, and let me know if you have any questions or comments, and please subscribe and engage. I'm always excited to talk to other enthusiasts like myself. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.